Insane story, insane execution, insanely awesome.
Welcome to the horror show. You realize there is nowhere to run. There's no game to fight. Paranoia is getting your life.
The Dead 2. Africa caused so many problems, so they moved production to India. Logical step. The plot. Nicholas Burton, played by Joseph Milson, is an engineer working in India. His girlfriend, Shani Sharma, played by Minu Mishra, who is 300 miles away, gives him a crucial call. Then, during that crucial call, the zombie apocalypse occurs in India. Now, Nicholas, along with a kid named Javed, played by Anand Krishna Goyal, are making their way to Shani while her disapproving father and ill mother are holding up in their home. Can they make it in time? Coming off the struggle of making The Dead, the Ford brothers were suffering near PTSD. But after conquering some inner demons, they came out to make this movie for the fans. When they moved filming to India, they fell in love with this beautiful country. However, the locals weren't too much better than the ones in Africa. Stoning, dog throwing, cow shit chunking, not to mention the high demand for money. It was not a pleasant filming experience at all, but in the end it was so worth it. There are some scenes that were from the first movie's script that were found in this movie, and whatever they are, wherever they were, they fit perfectly because this movie flows at a brisk and intense pace. Joseph Milson is a great actor and conveys plenty of emotion. There's one scene that had my eyes water because it was so shocking. So shocking. There is a terribly brutal scene involving a daughter and mother trapped in a car that is just depressing. The movie still works with the depression and gives you empathy with the characters. I do think Rob Friedman gives an excellent performance by not saying much, but portraying his feelings through his actions. But Joseph Milson conveys so much feeling through every struggle, and he doesn't grow weaker from every bump in the road. He gains motivation. Generic storytelling is a dime a dozen these days, but seeing this movie that has a weak story but strong execution and drive is what separates this from the flood of horror movies that have been coming out and puts it up there with the first The Dead movie. I really adored the kid in this movie. He's developed and self-reliant. His backstory is tragic, but he understands why it is what it is, and his performance helps you to see it the way he does. The ending is a bit questionable. You don't really have a clear conclusion. Did it work for the movie, though? In a way, yes, but in a definitive ending sort of way, I didn't think so. Action wasn't a strong point for the first movie. Sure, there was some, but none too overbearing. Here, every intense moment is pretty action-packed. From the vehicles they drive to the shots they make, everything is pretty insane. Don't get me wrong though, there's still some good slow burn moments that sell the tension. I also feel this packs the punch the first movie was missing. I think Joseph Milson's performance really made some scenes have way more impact than the first movie. That is not to say that Rob Friedman's performance was bad. I just like Milson's character and acting more. There is an emphasis on the religion of India, how their god is punishing the people of the country because of their greed, and them taking things for granted. It is similar to the first movie and it works about the same. It doesn't come off forcefully either, which is good. The gore, the effects. This was much bloodier than the first, with tons of bloody feastings, graphic headshots, gruesome bullet wounds, and severed limbs strewn across the desert. It is a little bit gorier than the first, but not by much. The effects on the zombies are good. They didn't really update the look at all, which is what I preferred. They still have the unblinking sky blue eyes as the first did. The musical score! It's the same but different. They use similar themes, but with an Indonesian flair. The opening credits theme is so awesome in all of its slow-motion upbeat breakdown. This is what the sequel needed it to be. A bit more of everything, but not too much, so we don't forget its roots. which is a rarity nowadays. Is this movie as superb as the first, though? I'd say yes, maybe even a little bit better. The performances are better, the action sequences are stronger, the effects are upped in game, and the musical score works even though it is very similar to the first. However, this just doesn't have the charm nor magic of the first. So for that reason, I cannot give it a solid rating. Is it still getting a great rating, though? Oh, hell yeah. Overall, I give The Dead 2 4.5 out of 5. I am Brian Gatto, host of Horror Show Entertainment. Make sure to like my Facebook page in the description below to leave comments and subscribe.